All right, guys, what's going on, man? This is George with Rhyme Rate, man. Shout out to everybody that's been, rocking with the channel, man. Sorry, it's been a bit of a delay for those of you who are familiar, and I would imagine most of you kind of know why I haven't been putting videos up, man. It's been all hands on deck. Over at my Lost in Vegas channel, you know what I mean, with my boy Ryan over there. We've been doing Iceman reactions and trying to get the studio together. We're still getting that built out and figuring out the tech stuff in there to kind of take it to a different level, even from where it is now. So that's where I've been. Make sure you check out Ryan's channel, Hybrid Hangout. He's been covering covering some of the options that we didn't cover from the Iceman album, and that's what I'm doing here right now. So let's get into it. Y'all went crazy for us to do it. I've heard it, but even with me saying that I've heard it, you guys are like, we still want something from y'all. I know it's only me. It's not me and Ryan, but this is something. At least you get something. So let's get into it, though, man. Yeah, man, off the Iceman album, which I've been thoroughly enjoying, it's been fire. Make them remember.
For real. My social battery is drained. For real, for real. Just came from hearing a lot of niggas cop a lot of pleas like, oh brother, we brothers, it's never been nothing. I tell you, sending me that owl emoji in my DM ain't gonna mean nothing. Don't try coming around when the score's back to 10-0.
Nope.
For real. I don't wanna hear none of that shit. Look up. Turbulent flights, dodging cumulus clouds. Squares drawing a line, but we at the root of it now. It feels like I got a lie to even tie, so I don't know if these are wins or not based on what's suitable now. You don't even hear me.
So let's talk about this line. So you guys know, for those of you who follow, at least the people who follow me on the Rhyme Rate Instagram, make sure you follow me on the Rhyme Rate Instagram. Information will be in the description. Y'all know that I put two posts up in my stories, and I was just like, y'all hit me up to do 1 a.m. in Albany, and I'm not trying to hear none of that. I want it to be pure. I want that nothing pure. I want to wait until the album drops. Pretty much about like 15 minutes later, I went ahead and just listened to 1 a.m. in Albany because I went on Twitter, man, and Twitter was on fire. We were getting hit. And my DMs are also on fire. And even our Lost in Vegas account was on fire when I went into our Lost in Vegas Instagram. And I was like, yeah, I got to listen to this. I was like, nope, play. And the first thing I heard, and what I tweeted, was this wins or not scheme. And let me talk to y'all about something, man. I have been listening to battle rap probably a lot longer than the vast majority of people watching this video. So when I put that up there, and there were a few people that were like, yo, well, Rum Nitty, who was a battle rapper, had the wins or not scheme before. Oh, it's whatever. There's a couple people trying to diminish the line. And what people need to realize is that the scheme sometimes is almost a bonus, right? It feels like I got to lie to even tie, you know what I mean? Or I don't know if these are wins or not based on what's suitable now. Tie, wins or not is a way that you tie a tie, right? A bow tie or what have you, right? Or no, it's a knot, a way that you tie a knot in a tie, right? A wins or not. And so people were like, well, Rum Nitty had something like that. He had a line like that in a battle rap, and this battle rapper didn't, and this person had this. Yes, you are right. I believe Rum Nitty had a similar line, and I've heard suit tie lines and flips and entendres for decades, right? My thing about it is, what are they saying with the line? What makes Drake special is the way that he incorporates his story while using these schemes. That's the beauty of it. You know what I mean? So even if you heard something similar, they didn't say the same thing as Drake, because Drake is talking about his life. He said, first he started off by saying, look up, turbulent clouds, dodging cumulus clouds. So that's just him saying that things are looking a little, the flight is a little turbulent. Things are a little shaky. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe literally on a flight, there's turbulence, right? He's Air Drake. But these are turbulent times that I'm in right now, right? You talk about the battle the last 2 years, how hard that's been for Drake. Cumulus clouds, right? It's an overcast. Toronto obviously has a lot of, rainy days and overcast as well. But, these are dark times. You know what I'm saying? And then he goes into the squares draw the line, which I'm going to get back to. But he follows that up when he says, I don't know if these are wins or not based on what's suitable now. So what he's saying specifically is, I have to lie to even tie this motherfucker, Kendrick, to even get a tie in the eyes of the general public. I mean, I don't even know, do I have to, I got to stoop this low just for y'all to even make it even? Not win, because there is no winning in my position. I'm the big dog. I'm the popular guy. And the deck is stacked against me based off of just this this sort of, simmering hate that I've been getting, right? We got many media personalities. I'm going against my label. There's weird with that. So the deck is stacked against me, man. You know what I mean? So they're going to try to propel this artist, right? Pedestalize him in a way, essentially maybe even coddle this dude in order to bring me down. So just to tie it, I got to lie and stoop this low. So I feel like when you are saying the meaning, right? And you're kind of like getting inside Drake's head and breaking down the meaning of what he means by that, tying it in, no pun intended, with the scheme, I think it's still dope. Even if someone has said something similar like wins or not, I think you need to factor that in. I think people just jump out the window because they want to look like they know what's up with rap and, I watch battle rap underground and I've heard this before. I could play that game probably better than anybody. If I stopped the video and told you guys I've heard a line every time a mainstream rapper says something, dog, it would look like I was hating. I could do that all day, every day. But I try to understand where the artist is going in their perspective. Now, if you just straight up bite a line and it has it for no rhyme or reason and it's not tying into an underlying theme, then yes, you would get clowned. And that I feel like it's valid then. But Drake wasn't saying what Rum Nitty was saying. Rum Nitty wasn't saying what Drake was saying. So cut it out, man. Anyways, let's get back to it. Very, very dope. Start. Let me pull that back because I want to get to that square root line.
Don't try coming around when the score's back to 10-0. For real. I don't want to hear none of that shit. Look up. Turbulent flights, dodging cumulus clouds. Squares drawing a line, but we at the root of it now. It feels like I got a lot to even tie, so I don't know if these are wins or not based on what's suitable now. You don't even hear me, though.
Based on what's suitable now as well. So what's suitable now? The rules keep changing. The rules of engagement keep changing. I gotta lie now. I guess this is just the new thing to do when we're talking about a battle. Is just lie and make up gossip rumors, imaginary daughters, or what have you, right? In order to get that perceived public win. But back in the day, it was really about the bars. Drake came in and just rapped. Now, I'm not saying that he didn't partake in some bullshit too with, some stuff that I think could potentially be made up as well. But I just feel like it was levels to what each of them were doing, right? And so this it's based on what's suitable now. So based on what the rules are now, the rules of engagement, this is what is necessary, is to lie. But that square roots, right? He said squares draw the line, but we at the root of it now. You know what I'm saying? So squares drawing the line, but we at the root of it now. Squares, lames, haters, they have drawn a line in the sand, and they have let me know where they stand. So therefore, we are at the root of the problem. Oh, I see. So now when the world came, when the battle popped off, I saw people who I thought were on my side, my friends. They drew a line in the sand and they went over there. Now we are at the root of the problem, right? But also it's a play on the square root mathematical, equation, right? The square root of whatever, and then draw a line and you make a square root symbol there as well. But that was dope.
Cumulus clouds, squares drawing a line, but we at the root of it now. It feels like I got a lot to even tie, so I don't know if these are wins or not based on what's suitable now. You don't even hear me though. You put that jacket on anybody, your funeral bound. But like the goalposts, I'm out here just moving around. They say conclusions were drawn, but I'm in super denial. What is a loss? I'll be damned if I'm losing it now.
Incredible writing from Drake and this man. Incredible writing. So he came off of the, I don't know if I have to lie to even tie. I don't know if these are wins or not, wins, WINS or not, and wins or not, right? Based on what's suitable now, a suit, tie, wins or not. Then he comes off of that and he says, you put that jacket on anybody, you're funeral bound, right? If you put a jacket on, when you're going to a funeral, you're putting on a suit, tie, wins or not, right? Suitable now, you put a jacket on, you go to a funeral, right? You're funeral bound. But also what Drake is saying is if you put that allegation of being a PDF on anybody, that could be the end of their career. They're funeral bound. That's it. That's the death of their career. I also think, I'm going to add this in there, I think you also might be saying if you put that jacket on somebody, putting that type of jacket, that allegation on someone could put them in the mindset of doing something really bad, maybe potentially taking your life. It could be your funeral. You could be funeral bound by putting that type of jacket on another man. Anybody else in my place probably would have went crazy and caught a body based off of what was said. Now, that's just my addition. I think the first part of how I defined it was really where he was going, but I'm going to add that in there as well. And then he said, but like the goalposts, I'm just out here moving around. When it comes to Drake, the goalpost always moves. You know what I'm saying? I thought battle rap was about bars. Oh no, it's not about bars. It's about who made the hottest song. Kendrick may not like us. It's an anthem. So it's not about bars. I thought that's what battle rap was. You know what I'm saying? Is it about the numbers? Is it not about the numbers? Oh, Kendrick's doing numbers now. Wait. So he's number one, but I thought it wasn't about the numbers. So the goalpost always seems to move when Drake is in the equation. But I'm out here just moving around, man. I'm dealing with it. You know what I mean? So very, very dope rapping, man.
You put that jacket on anybody, your funeral bound. But like the goalposts, I'm out here just moving around. They say conclusions were drawn, but I'm in super denial. What is a loss? I'll be damned if I'm losing it now. I'm the golden goose shaking things up at Lucian's house. I'm in the battlefield, really putting boots to the ground. A boost to see for your sales, and the lies that you tell. If Drake took out the AK, maybe he'd be in jail.
Okay, let's go back up. So, you know, he came off you put that jacket on anybody, your funeral bound. You know, they say conclusions were drawn. I'm in super denial. You know what I'm saying? Apparently, they're saying Homeboy won the battle. I'm in denial. I guess I'm in denial because I don't see it that way, right? You know what I'm saying? I think I won the shit. You know what I'm saying? What is a loss? I'll be damned if I'm losing it now. What's a loss? So is a loss, I'm streaming damn near every album I've ever made. It seems like every album this motherfucker's ever made seems to still be on the charts. And I'm exaggerating. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting crazy streams, right? Oh, it's a battle rap loss, George. That's what it is. Okay, so if a bunch of dudes that don't really know bars like that don't even know that don't even understand the rules of engagement when we talking about battling, that think because somebody made a hit song that means that they won a rap battle. If those people think that I lost, which is pretty much the general population, is that really a loss? A bunch of people that don't know how battle rapping works said I lost. Did I really lose? You know what I mean? I think that's what he's saying. I mean, that's what I'm saying for him, if that's not what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? And he said, I'm the golden goose that's shaking shit up in Lucian's house, right? I'm the golden goose that lays the golden eggs. I'm the one keeping the lights on. I'm the big-time artist that's making the label all this money, right? And I'm shaking things up at Lucian's house. I think that's maybe a dual meaning, man. Like, I'm the one that's keeping the lights on and making things hot, but also at the same time, I'm shaking the foundation of that shit, right? He's suing the label currently, right? So, but at the same time, still keeping the label, now I want to say afloat, because they'll be fine even if Drake leaves, but still making them a shitload of money at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And then he said, I'm in the battlefield really putting boots to the ground. So he's in the battlefield, like I'm out here fighting the machine, man, really putting in that work. You know, he said a booster seat for yourselves, and the lies that you tell. A booster seat for your sales and the lies that you tell. So a booster seat for yourselves. Dissing me, Kendrick making Not Like Us, dissing Drake, boosted his sales. You know what I'm saying? He also said the lies that you tell. So your lies were amplified also by dissing me. You know what I'm saying? By dissing Drake and calling Drake a PDF and all this other stuff, it boosted, it amplified, you know, those lies. I do think that that's maybe a short joke as well, booster seat. You know what I'm saying? Because he's saying Kendrick, Drake has had of his fair share of short jokes for Kendrick. So I think that's a short joke. You know, people who can't, who are shorter or children need booster seats, you know what I mean, to eat at a table or what have you in order to be tall enough. So I think that's a play on, a short joke for Kendrick as well, but fire.
Conclusions were drawn, but I'm in super denial. What is a loss? I'll be damned if I'm losing it now. I'm the golden goose shaking things up at Lucian's house. I'm in the battlefield, really putting boots to the ground. A boost to see for your sales and the lies that you tell. If Drake took out the AK, maybe he'd be in jail. Just based off the name that it spells. What they say they just smelled. I heard they got special places in hell for niggas joking about evil when they did it themselves. Damn, what y'all thought I was done? Y'all forgot what I done. Y'all forgot about Drake. Y'all forgot where I'm from. Y'all forgot if I gave you a hand, you under the thumb. Convenient and
I love that line, man. You forgot that if I give you a hand, you under the thumb. The idioms, man, that Drake is able to do. He is such a he's just a wordsmith, man. He doesn't get enough appreciation for being a wordsmith. So if I give you a hand, if I help you out, guess what? Whether you realize it or not, you're under the thumb. You're under my control. That's what that means, right? Figuratively speaking, you're under my control, but obviously it's a play on hand, thumb. But if I give you something, he's given a lot of hands. Like, I lead the league in scoring, man. Look at my assists. He's given a lot of hands and helped a lot of people. You know what I mean, that have turned their back on him. But, you must have forgot. I'm a big deal in this motherfucker. I got a lot of power and control. But then, of course, the whole internet knows about the take the AK out of Drake. And what does that spell? He's referencing Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre had sort of a domestic violence situation with, I guess, his child's mom, if I'm not mistaken. I think a gun was involved, so I don't know if the AK play is also tied to Dre using a gun in a domestic violence situation. And he also dated her when she was underage. You know what I mean? I think she came out and admitted that. So he was essentially like, specifically, he said, if Drake took out the AK, maybe he'd be in jail. Maybe you're looking at the wrong person. Maybe you should be looking at Dre to go to jail for potentially grooming or being a pedophile, right? Because the woman he was dating, a woman when she was 16 or a teenager or what have you, right? So maybe y'all should be turning your attention towards the real culprit, right? In addition to that, Dre used the gun again, as I mentioned, potentially in that domestic violence situation. In addition to that, I think he's saying, if I took out the AK based off of someone calling me a PDF and trying to put that jacket on me, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people in my position would have went ballistic and tried to catch a body, maybe did something to somebody or had something done to somebody. I would be going to jail. You know what I mean? If I reacted the way that I feel like a lot of people would have in my position, right? So I think that's all of that is in there, man. And then he said, they got special places in hell for people, talking about being a PDF and this and that, when they really did it themselves. This is a special place in hell for you, man, when you're the real, you're the real guilty party and you're trying to project that onto someone else. You know what I'm saying? And again, tying it back to Dre. Dre also was at the, at the Grammys, high-fiving Lucian Grange, with Kendrick receiving the the Grammys for Not Like Us or what have you. So I think that Drake took that personally. You know what I mean? Dre was also at the pop-out with Kendrick too. Like, oh, okay. All right, I see you. Yeah, dope. Let's keep it going.
I heard they got special places in hell for niggas joking about evil when they did it themselves. Damn, what y'all thought I was done? Y'all forgot what I done? Y'all forgot about Drake? Y'all forgot where I'm from? Y'all forgot if I gave you a hand, you under the thumb? Convenient amnesia from all you ballerinas. It doesn't alter what you said or how it made us see you. I shouldn't even be shocked to see you in that arena, because you always made your career off of switching teams up. I never got a copy of.
I love that convenient amnesia for all you ballerinas, right? Obviously he's referencing the people who were dancing to Kendrick's song, calling him a pedophile, Not Like Us, right? It looks like they have convenient amnesia. Why do they have convenient amnesia? Drake said at the beginning of this, he was just like, just came from hearing a lot of dudes cop pleas. So a lot of these dudes is copping pleas, like, oh brother, we brothers, it's never been nothing, right? So I think he's speaking to those people, right? I think LeBron, potentially DeRozan, he said, sending him DMs with owl emojis, right? Those types of guys, they seem to have convenient amnesia that they were dancing to a song calling me a pedophile, right, at the pop-out. How convenient for you to kind of forget that, right? For all you ballerinas. Ballerinas are dancers, right? So dancing to Not Like Us. So that was really, really slick the way he said that. And he said that the switching teams up line, right? Yeah, it doesn't alter what you said and how it made us see you. I shouldn't even be shocked to see you in that arena because you made your career off of switching teams up. So I shouldn't have been shocked to see you at the pop-out, the arena, right? DeRozan, LeBron or what have you, because you made your career off of switching teams up. I think it can be applied to DeRozan and LeBron. DeRozan was traded to multiple teams. You made your career playing for the Charlotte Hornets, Sacramento Kings, Spurs, right? Obviously the Raptors, of course. So you made your career switching teams up. LeBron, one of LeBron's biggest criticisms is, stacking the deck in his favor, joining teams with really good players so that it can be easier for him to win a championship. So you made your career. I shouldn't have been shocked that you switched up on me, your team, right? OVO Camp, Drake and his team and his side, because that's how you move. You know what I mean? You switch up teams when it's convenient for you. So that's a shot at LeBron, but that was slick as hell. The way he wrote that was hard. Let's keep it going. He did have he also did have the what you forgot what I done, coming off of talking about Dre, you forgot about Dre, right? You forgot what I done, you forgot what I've accomplished, whatever. Like you guys forgot who I am, is what you're saying, But again, it could be a tie to him. He's coming off of saying the AK coming out of Dre's, which spells Dre. So I think it's a what you forgot about Dre type of play as well, with the way that he delivered that. But yeah, let's keep it rocking.
What I done? Y'all forgot about Drake. Y'all forgot where I'm from. Y'all forgot if I gave you a hand, you under the thumb. Convenient amnesia from all you ballerinas. It doesn't alter what you said or how it made us see you. I shouldn't even be shocked to see you in that arena, because you always made your career off of switching teams up. I never got a copy of the newest rules. Apparently the title of the book is called Fooling Fools. Y'all was riding all summer, pedal bars going #1, and yet y'all trying to tell me who's grooming who. Comb through this hair before you cut me for a new recruit. Before you say toodaloo off of shit that keep popping up on your Google News.
Yeah, it amazes me, man, that Drake has been in the game, for 15 plus years, man. Really been running shit for 15 plus years. And there are people in 2026 that are not aware of what he's doing. People legitimately don't understand. People are waking up now. People are waking up now because y'all motherfuckers have mobilized Drake's fan base, so now they're breaking down bars and making it clear. But we've been on Lost to Vegas. We've been doing that shit for years. You know what I mean? We watch people call us crazy for saying Drake is nice. And it's so crazy because before Drake had the reference tracks, every great lyricist was saying Drake's pen, not just the R&B. They were saying Drake was a great writer. They were saying he was a great rapper. His lyricism. They were talking about his pen. They were oohing and ahhing over his bars. People like Joe Budden, who's a lyricist. Jay, Nas, you know what I'm saying? I remember Jadakiss saying things. Cameron, it's all these dudes, man. All of them were saying, people who we look up to and say are great lyricists were saying Drake was a great lyricist. I mean, even when he came out, when it wasn't beneficial to side with him, right? He was just kind of a new up-and-coming artist. Yeah, he had potential, but it was no reason, to be dick riding for no reason. People were like, yo, dude is nice. Yes, he had his haters, but there was just as many people saying that this dude was super talented. He could rap his ass off and he can sing his ass off. Somewhere along the way, it became a thing to just act like Drake can't rap. But it came from a bunch of little kids that don't understand how bars work and how writing works. They think that you have to have specific subject matter in your rhymes and you know what fucked up rap? This is what I've always wanted to say. You know those little videos on YouTube, man, where they highlight the rhyme schemes? And what I mean is they'll highlight the rhyme schemes. They'll color code the rhyme schemes, right? I think kids got caught up in rhyme schemes and trying to match syllables and complexity of rhyme schemes, and they completely lost the art of understanding if someone's saying something profound or compelling. They got caught up in matching syllables and counting rhyme schemes, and oftentimes these syllables and rhyme schemes that are complex are saying absolutely nothing. So that became the standard of what a great rapper is supposed to be lyrically. But Drake is the type of rapper, Jay-Z is the type of rapper they have so many, if you read what they said on paper, it's so many layers to what they're saying, right? Without actually having to be overly wordy in most cases, which doesn't say nearly as much as what they say. Like when Jay-Z said, "I'm not black, I'm OJ." Okay. If you read that on a piece of paper, you'd be like, "Oh, it's basic. He's not lyrical. He's not saying anything." But there's so much to that line, and maybe I'll break that song down another time. But there's so much to that line, and it's brilliantly written. It's extremely lyrical, but it looks basic on paper. So kids and I would say people born, and I'm not trying to disrespect anyone because I know there's a lot of people born in this time frame that do know bars, but I would say generally speaking, man, I've noticed there's like a lack of comprehension and understanding of how idioms and things like that, these innuendos and the lyricism, that just isn't something that I think people grasp, right? Post 1997 on up, it just seems like motherfuckers just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Not all of y'all, but y'all struggle with that. So I say that to say Drake does that. He is an incredible writer. You know what I mean? When he's locked in, incredible. So let's take this for example. He said, after the coming off with saying LeBron switched teams up, he said, "I never got a copy of the newest rules. Apparently the title of the book is called Fooling Fools. Y'all was riding all summer pedal bars going #1, and yet y'all trying to tell me who's grooming who?" So much in that, right? He said, "I never got a copy of the newest rules. Apparently, the rules of engagement changed, right? I never got a copy of that. The goalpost continues to move. I guess I'm just, because when it comes to me, the goalpost moves. I never got a copy of the newest rules. Apparently, the title of the book is called Fooling Fools." So what does Drake mean when he says that? He means that a lot of people, throughout the course of these 2 years, fell for the banana in the tailpipe. They fell for the PDF, perpetuating PDF rumors. They just believed everything as it relates to Drake. Do y'all know that there was a thing concerning this dude named Ebony Prince? I didn't even know at the time. I was kind of catching wind of it throughout the battle. Apparently, some dude that had a Twitter account named Ebony Prince Jr. was saying that he caught Drake on camera, and he swore he had hotel proof of Drake being on hotel camera proof of Drake dealing with some disabled dude. and doing some weird sexual things with this disabled dude, and everybody believed that shit. So it's just like what that told me is like, oh, people are really like either they just are filled with so much hatred that they know this is not true, but they're gonna push the rumor anyway, or they're just really lacking in the intellectual department. Right? So when he says the title of the book is called Fooling Fools, y'all fell for it. Y'all got fooled by lies, gossip, nonsense, right? The fans are the fools. You were able to fool the fools. You know what I'm saying? Mass manipulation from people who are weak-minded and can't think independently is what Drake is saying there. Y'all was riding all summer, pedal bars going #1, and yet y'all want to are trying to tell me who's grooming who. You were riding along, listening to Not Like Us all summer that contained pedophilia bars, pedal bars, right? Riding around all summer like it was all fine and dandy, you know what I mean? And then you trying to tell me who's grooming who. Like, you guys made it cool and sort of desensitized the masses into thinking a song calling a man a PDF was fun and you could just dance to it, have a good time to it, right? That in itself, this sort of it being desensitized, right? Calling someone a PDF, saying the word PDF in a song in itself is sort of desensitizing the masses to it, which is in a sense could be looked at as grooming. I think is what Drake's point is. That could be looked at as grooming. No one's taking that shit seriously anymore. And it's the most heinous word, one of the most heinous words in our language is being sort of downplayed and again, desensitized, right? So I think that's his way of saying that. And then he said, y'all was riding around all summer, pedal bars going #1. I think that's also a play on pedal bars, right? You think of a kid pedaling a bike, riding around on a bike, pedals, right? It's you're thinking, again, you're grooming kids, pedal bars, pedal bikes, right? Riding around all summer. You guys are making it cool for kids to, to sing along with Not Like Us, pedal bars, bikes. So I think that's a tie-in there somehow. Yeah, but super dope from Drake. Excellent writing, man. Some of his best writing ever.
Riding all summer, pedal bars going #1, and yet y'all trying to tell me who's grooming who. Comb through this hair before you cut me for a new recruit. Before you say toodaloo off of shit that keep popping up on your Google News. Ain't been in the cage since I flew the coop. I was on Coast and Ave with my mom, but numbers started going through the roof. Bentley with the B inside the wings like whoopie-woos. Spinning downtown like hula hoops. Is it the fair skin or the Jewish roots? Why people wanna not see me on top of the mountain like I do the dudes?
Unbelievable writing, man, from Drake, dude. Drake will get Lyricist of the Year, man. I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear that, dude. I think he might be Lyricist of the Year. I haven't gotten through the album, but it's probably gonna be Album of the Year. Shout out to my man Cole. Shout out to Cole. Cole's got my #1 right now with The Fall Off, but I've just been loving every song. And if the trend continues, it's looking like Iceman might get it. I'm sorry. I gotta keep it real. He said, so comb through this here before you cut me for a new recruit. So look at the nuance, right? Study what I'm saying. Comb through this before you cut me off, before you say you dispose of Drake and you boost someone else up, right? New recruit, I think that means Kendrick Lamar. Before you just cut me off and just, get me out of here, just think about what I'm saying. Comb through this. Look into the nuance. Get the facts straight, right? Before you say toodaloo off of believing some shit that popped up on your Google News feed. Before you say goodbye to me based off of you just not doing any research, you saw a news feed come across your timeline, Drake's a pedophile, right? And you just believed it without doing any research and trying to understand the full circumstance. Before you just believe that blindly, you might want to comb through this here so you can get a better understanding that it's not true, is what Drake is saying. But also it's the wordplay, right? Comb through this hair before you cut me for a new recruit. Hair, comb, haircut, right? So that was slick wordplay there. Then he was like, I was on Coast and Ave. He said, I ain't been in a cage. I think he said cage, right? Since I flew the coop. I ain't been in a K. I don't know if he said cage or K. I'm not quite sure. I don't know if that's a play on Kendrick having the owl in the cage in the Not Like Us video. Me close the cage with the owl in it. Not sure. But he said since I flew the coop. So it's a play on birds, flying a coop, chicken coop, right? But I think also after he said that, he was like, I was on Coast and Ave with my mom and numbers going through the roof. So I think he's saying flew the coop before before I was famous, man, I was in the trenches. And I had to fly. The numbers started going through the roof, and then we flew the coop. We got up out of there, right? Is how I'm taking that. And then he transitions from that to Bentley with the B inside the wings like whoop-de-woos, spinning downtown like a hula hoop. So he had the Bentley. He was driving downtown, spinning the block downtown, Bentley with the B inside. The Bentley sign has wings and a B in the middle of it. And he said Bentley with the B inside like whoop-de-woos. I think that's some Blood Gang shit personally. I could be wrong when he says whoop-de-woos because Bloods, at least New York Bloods, they say whoop-de. There was a song called whoop-de and it was some blood shit. And they would put up B's and I think there was like wing. And the threes in your hand represented wings. I could be completely wrong, but I think he's saying whoop-de. I think that's some blood shit. So I don't know. Could be wrong. Yeah, let's keep it going though. Let me pull it back a little bit. Fire.
Town like hula hoops. Is it the fair skin or the Jewish roots? Why people wanna not see me on top of the mountain like I do the dude?
Is it the fair skin or the Jewish roots? Why people wanna not see me on the mountain, on the top of the mountain like I do the dude? Is it the fair skin? Is it me being a biracial dude, right? Ross had the white boy thing, you know, right? And there's other people that was, you know, whether Kendrick intended for this to be the case or not, people played the race card. I'm not saying Kendrick intended it for it to be this way, but people took Kendrick saying, we don't want to hear you say the N-word anymore, even if it was about him culturally. People took that and said, yeah, he's a white boy, right? That happened factually. Again, not what Kendrick necessarily intended. I do think that Kendrick, when he wrote it, knew the undertones and how people could perceive it. I think so. But people did take that as, yeah, let's get he's not black enough, right? That's what I heard. I heard that factually and saw that factually from fans. So is it because I'm a biracial dude and I'm from Canada that, you know, they don't want to see me on top of the mountain? You don't want to see me at the top of the game? Or is it the Jewish roots? The fact that I have white in me, right? Jewish roots. And also there's, you know, Jews go through their own, discrimination as well, right? So which one is it? And then he said, not see me on the top of the mountain like I do the do. So we know the history of the Jews and the Nazis, right? Not see me. Do they want to not see me? They want to get me out of here like Nazis did to Jews, right? To my career on the top of the mountain like I do the do, you know, Mountain Dew's branding, Mountain Dew. And also they've had commercials and all that other stuff. And, you know, their whole slogan is do the do. It used to be do the do. So on top of the mountain like I do the do. At the top of the rap game, maybe it's because I'm black. Maybe it's because I'm Jewish. What is it? Where's the hate coming from, right? Super dope. Let's keep it going.
Through the roof, Bentley with the B inside the wings like whoopie-woos, spinning downtown like hula hoops. Is it the fair skin or the Jewish roots? Why people wanna not see me on top of the mountain like I do the dude? Damn. And fuck a Billboard #1, man, whoop-de-doo. They rigging the game because you fighting the biggest artist. They trying to have me stuck in this position like rigor mortis. Turn my back on you just to give you the biggest target. They only know your name in the bigger markets, never in the little markets. B markets, C markets, all of those is D markets. You be at the flea market, that's cold in the 6. It means chances are you taking a plea bargain. You belong.
Okay. I don't understand that part. Someone help me out. Because I think he's implying that Kendrick is big in big markets. Not even implying. I think he's saying that, right? You know, they only know your name in bigger markets, right? So I'm thinking like major markets, you know, demographically, like the United States, maybe certain cities in the United States. But when you go to certain places, you know, there's this whole thing that's going around that Kendrick's music is really not loved by the trenches where hip hop comes from. It's loved by major markets. Right. And, he's got a big fan base, but it's like the demographics of that fan base are in question, at least in a lot of people's opinions. Right. It's like, who's really listening? Is it black people that created hip hop who create the style and all the fashion and the swag? Are they listening? Or is it just people from major markets because the record label has a shitload of money to push you into these big markets? But are you really penetrating, you know what I mean, the core of this shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, can you, or even maybe it's a global thing. Can you pop off in Thailand? I don't think Thailand's a big market. Maybe you pop off in the UK. Maybe you pop off in certain markets, but can you pop off? Now, Kendrick did just come off of a stadium tour, though. You know what I'm saying? But the stadium tour, some people argue that's because of the beef. You know what I mean? But outside of the beef, can he do that? I don't know. But he did just come off a stadium tour where he was hitting a lot of markets. So I need a little bit more information on, maybe, I'm sure Drake is privy to information on demographics and all that from these artists more so than I am. But I thought that was interesting. Did he say what did he say? Turn my back on you to give you the biggest target? I'm turning my back on y'all, man. It's over. I'm cutting all y'all off. All you leeches, all you traitors, betrayers, you know, and obviously, you know, when you turn, you know, he's also inferring that you gonna stab me in the back anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm prepared for you to stab me in the back. Betrayal, right? Turning my back on you to give you the biggest target. And then he said, you know, they rigging the game because you fighting the biggest artists, you know? They rigged the game for Kendrick, right? They boosted, they played his song on the radio a billion times, put him on, platformed him at the Super Bowl, right? Drake is trying to get out of his deal. He's suing his label. Even before he was suing his label, he's trying to get out of his deal. There's something going on. There's been tension with him and his label. So they're trying to diminish him, right, by bigging up and platforming Kendrick, right? Because you're going against the biggest artist, right? And they're rigging the game, you know? And they're trying to have him stuck, right, in this position. You know what I mean? They don't want him to progress. They don't want him to get out of his situation, like rigor mortis. Rigor mortis, your body stiffens up when you die, right? I think Kendrick had the song Rigor Mortis on Section 80, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know if that's a play against Kendrick. Maybe he's saying Kendrick would pretty much be stuck in the same position without his name as well. You know, you're trying to have me stuck in a position like Homeboy, you know what I mean? So rigor mortis equals Kendrick Lamar. Not sure. Let's keep it going, though.
Target, they only know your name in the bigger markets, never in the little markets. B markets, C markets, all of those is D markets. You be at the flea market, that's cold in the 6. It means chances are you taking a plea bargain. You belong in a pack with some rats like Dean Martin. Me, Wayne, and Mac, the three amigos, I'm Steve Martin. I swear I'm going loony over tune like that Green Martian, so please stop. Memories of where we used to live, but truth be told, I can't even see the block. It's blocked by the treetops. Please stop asking about what's going on with 23andMe. I'm a real nigga and he's not. It's in my DNA.
I really wish I could have saw the real reaction to that line right there, man. When I heard that line, I was like, I had to stop it. I stopped that shit and I was just like, Drake is doing some he's on some other shit. I'm like, yo, I think this is the best he's ever rapped consistently. I'm not saying, again, like I said in the Firm Friends video, I'm not saying he hasn't been at this level. But consistently throughout a project, I don't know if he's been at a higher level consistently throughout an entire project, man. I don't ever remember tripping like this. I've always thought Drake was nice, but not being like, yo, this dude is going crazy on so many songs. I haven't even gotten through the album yet. Even on the slappers, he's spitting. He's spitting better than he spit on slappers in the past. So even the bangers, he's slicker than what he used to be. I've been trying to tell people, man, Drake is the best he's ever been. I think he's the best he's ever been in terms of pockets too. The flows and all that he picks, man. I think this whole nostalgia thing has got y'all brains scrambled, man. Drake is way better than he used to be. Y'all want him to be on that, y'all see me on the underground, Nemo, you know I ball, chemo. You want that shit? Because that's what Drake used to sound like. So, y'all bugging. Drake is way better than he's ever been. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, let's keep it going. But let me break down some of these lines though. You know, fuck a Billboard #1, whoop-de-doo. Kendrick went #1 with Not Like Us. I think he also had a #1 with I think Squabble Up, Not Like Us, and Luther went #1, right? You know what I'm saying? He ate crazy, man. He ate crazy off that battle. Like whoop-de-doo, you know? And he said you be at the flea markets. That's cold in the 6. That means chances are you taking a plea bargain. I don't know if that's his way of saying that Kendrick in some way is, you know, I don't know, ratting, maybe the PDF thing, ratting on him, trying to get him to, you know, he's a rat like in a pack like Dean Martin, right? So Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., Frank Sinatra, right? They're all part of this group called the Rat Pack, right? So you belong in a pack like Dean Martin, right? So he's saying he's a rat. He said, memories of where we used to live, but truth be told, I can't even see the block. It's blocked by the treetops, man. So Drake is, you know, it's just his way of saying, man, he's moved on up. You know what I mean? He can't even see where he used to come from. You know what I mean? He flew the coop, and numbers started going through the roof. You know what I'm saying? And that was it. I can't even see the block. You know what I mean? I'm in a whole nother zip code jurisdiction. I don't know if he's saying Cedar Block as well. This could be a reach. Cedar Block. I don't know if he's also referencing maybe representative of, you know, tough conditions and houses made from Cedar Block. I don't know if that's a place where he's from, Cedar Block, Cedar. Maybe he lived on Cedar Block, but maybe that's wordplay there. But also he's saying, yo, it's blocked by the treetops, man. You know what I mean? I'm out in my own affluent neighborhood, man, with treetops. So that was dope. I don't want to hear about 23andMe, man. I'm a real dude. He's not. He's referencing LeBron James wears the number 23. And he said 23andMe, right? It's in my DNA. It's in Drake's DNA to be a real dude. But 23andMe is a DNA kit, I believe, or a way for you to trace your ancestry. So it's in my DNA to be a real dude. But 23andMe, 23, me and LeBron, right? Dope. LeBron wears the number 23, just to to reference that again. Fire. If y'all saw that line, though, if y'all saw me react to that line, y'all dude, I had to sit in silence. I was like, this dude is going crazy, man.
Tune like that green Martian, so please stop. Memories of where we used to live, but truth be told, I can't even see the block. It's blocked by the treetops. Please stop asking about what's going on with 23 and me. I'm a real nigga and he's not. It's in my DNA. I could have fell back like the married rapper, but we engaged. I told y'all I'm settled in my evil ways. These niggas thinking that the spot is up for grabs, they'll never see the day. To be the number one, you gotta lead the way. And to hold something over my head forever, you're still a couple feet away. Your insecurities keep spanning season to season like you Issa Rae.
It's too much. I gotta go back to the Looney Tune joint, right? What did he say? You belong in a pack like some rats like Dean Martin, Mean Wayne, and Mac. Drake, Mac Maine, Lil Wayne. You know what I mean? Which from Young Money. You know, we the Three Amigos. You know what I'm saying? I'm Steve Martin. You know what I'm saying? Steve Martin, Chevy Chase. I believe, you know, the movie The Three Amigos with Chevy Chase, Steve Martin. I forgot the other guy. You know what I'm saying? Was it Martin Short? Martin Short, Chevy Chase, and Steve Martin, the Three Amigos. Pretty sure he's referencing that. But we family. We the Three Amigos, right? Together forever. I swear I'm going loony over tunes like that Green Martian, so please stop. Man, if anything, y'all try to play with my mentor, the dude that changed my life, Lil Wayne. Lil Tunechi is Lil Wayne's name. I think it's still his name on Instagram or what have you. He calls himself Lil Tunechi, right? So I'm going loony. I'm going crazy over Lil Wayne, man, if you try to play with him. Looney Tunes as well, like that Green Martian. He's talking about Marvin the Martian that was on the network Looney Tunes, right? For those of you familiar with Looney Tunes, old school cartoon network from back in the day, you know, so that was fire. He said, I could have fell back like the married rapper, but we engaged. I told you I'm settled in my evil ways. He just has a lack of respect for how J. Cole, clearly, he has a lack of respect for how J. Cole handled the situation. The married rapper is J. Cole. J. Cole is married. I could have fell back. J. Cole jumped out, had the 7-minute drill, and then he fell back and said, you know what, I don't want to battle. He apologized. And Drake said, I could have did that, but we engaged. He said, you know, I'm settled in my evil ways. You know what I mean? Like that's a side of me is I have this vengeful, I got this gritty demon side to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I got this more than competitive. I want to see these guys hurt and suffer, right? You know, these dudes thinking that the spot is up for grabs, they'll never see the day. You know what I'm saying? Told me to be the number one, you got to lead the way. You know, these guys thinking that the spot is up for grabs, they'll never see the day. They'll never be able to dethrone me, man. You know, the spot will be up for grabs when I retire. As long as I'm here, I'm the guy. And I think he's also referencing the song Evil Ways with him and J. Cole. And to be the number one, you got to lead the way. In order to be the number one guy, to have people at least perceive you as such, you engaging in rap battles, right? What have we seen in rap history? Jay-Z, Nas. You know what I'm saying? It was that sort of cultural fight for the number one to be the king. You know, post Biggie and Pac's deaths, demise. You know, it was that thing like, I'm the number one guy. Jay-Z was, you know, he came at Nas. Nas came back, right? It was the battle for the number one position, right? So to be the number one guy, you got to lead. It's part of being a leader is to jump out. You know, it's almost like a king back in the day, right? 1800s or something like that. You go out to war with your soldiers and you leading the way, right? I'm going to war. So that's part of being the number one guy. So I love the way he wrote that. Let's keep it going, man. Yeah, fire.
It's in my DNA. I could have fell back like the married rapper, but we engaged. I told y'all I'm settled in my evil ways. These niggas thinking that the spot is up for grabs, they'll never see the day. To be the number one, you gotta lead the way. And to hold something over my head forever, you're still a couple feet away. Your insecurities keep spanning season to season like you Issa Rae. Plot twist, the owl never sees the cage. The owl only wakes up to seize the day. Talking about hiding the Bible, maybe y'all should read a page. Iced out crosses on their necks thinking Jesus saves. Well, even if he does, nigga, either way. The blasphemy you talk, let me know that your amazing grace gon' be delayed. You niggas should be ashamed. The fact you had to bring those talks to get some decent plays. Goodness gracious. God.
Yeah. He say God's gonna
wipe that little smug look right off of your fucking face.
Yeah, I stopped it too soon. God's gonna wipe that smug look off of y'all, all y'all faces, man. Y'all had to stoop to the lowest of the lows. Drake did stoop low too with the whole domestic violence shit. Let's keep it a bean. But yes, if we're being honest, there's really nothing worse than being called a pedophile. Unless, without proof. I mean, if you have to have real proof. If you're going to throw that type of allegation out there, you need to have real proof. And I do believe Drake needed proof as well, or should have had some sort of proof, you know, of the domestic violence situation as well. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like either, but the pedophile shit, yes, is a different level of just a different low, right? And that's what he's talking about. He's just like, you don't talk about hide the Bible. Kendrick had the line, what? Beat your ass and hide the Bible with God watching. So that's his way of addressing that line. He's like, talk about hide the Bible. You need to read a page. The fact that you would even go that low, you know what I'm saying? I'm a God or God. I think he said, God, I want to wipe that smug look off your face. And God, as in G-O-D, is going to. You know, that amazing grace is going to be delayed. You know what I mean? You're blocking your blessings, man. Karma's going to come back around for that method, right? You got to do all this. You had to go that low just to get some sales is what he said. The fact that you had to bring those talks to get some decent plays, sheesh. You had to do that just to, you know what I'm saying? You needed to stoop to that level just to get popping, you know? So it's kind of shameful is what Drake is saying. So yeah, fire. And to hold something over my head forever, you're still a couple feet away. You can't hold this over my head. This fictitious facade of a loss can't be held over my head, right? And you still a couple feet away. I think that's a way of Drake saying that Kendrick's short. You know what I mean? You can't get that high, bruh. You know what I'm saying? You're still a couple feet away. And then he said, plot twist, the owl never sees the cage. Plot twist. Drake has a Instagram account called Plot Twist. That was this mysterious account that people linked to Drake during the battle. It was sort of talking about all these secretive things of plans that Drake had to go against the label and he put music out on it, yada, yada, yada. So plot twist, though. You thought you had the owl in the cage. You know what I'm saying? Because Kendrick in the Not Like Us video put the owl in the cage at the end of the video. Plot twist. The owl never sees the cage. He only wakes up to seize the day. You know what I mean? I'm back at it. Whatever comes my way, I'm back at it to seize the day. You know what I mean? I get back to work. Owls are also nocturnal as well, so that's interesting. He said seize the day, but seize the day. I seize it. I seize the moment. I don't let anything stop me. You can't stop this. You can't stop this my popularity and my impact and my history. You know, you can't stop it.
It says, well, even if he does, nigga, either way, the blasphemy you talk, let me know that your amazing grace gon' be delayed. You niggas should be ashamed. The fact you had to bring those talks to get some decent plays, goodness gracious. God wanna wipe that little smug look right off of your fucking face. All you really did was cap like uppercase. Dodge the truth, but still managed to finally get a hit that let you run a base. Niggas saw you out at first, you need them, so you out at home now, just like a double play. As for these other suckers that's tucked away, I'm down to put bills on their face. No wonder why they been ducking Drake. Bills on their face, no wonder why they...
Listen, that segment right there, man, you know, he schemed into a scheme. So it was two schemes back to back, which made that so nasty. When I first heard that shit, I just reacted. Y'all saw my reaction. It's still nasty. But when I first heard that was another like, yo, I had to take my headphones off. I was like, this motherfucker right here. That's how I reacted. If y'all want to know my natural first reaction, I was like, this dude is just, I had to lean back. I was like, he's going crazy. So... Man, let's talk about it, man. So he's coming off of, God is gonna punish y'all, man, or you might have some karma coming your way for stooping that low and taking a stadium tour, calling me a pedophile, yada yada yada, right? All that stuff that came with the battle. And he said, y'all should be ashamed. The fact that you had to bring those talks to get some decent plays, goodness gracious. Then he said, all you did was cap, right? All you did was really cap like uppercase. All you did was lie. Obviously, but when you put your caps locks on, it creates uppercase letters, right? But all you did was cap as in lie, that's slang for lying, like uppercase. He said, dodge the truth, but still managed to finally get a hit that lets you run a base. Dodge the truth. I think he's saying we're in a baseball scheme now, right? So dodge, maybe Dodgers, right? You dodged the truth, but you still so you lied and you still were able to get a hit from that. Okay, great. But you still managed to finally get a hit that lets you run a base. So when if we're thinking baseball, you get a hit and then you run a base, right? Kendrick's hit, right, metaphorically, was Not Like Us, to let you run a base. So you got a hit, you was able to make a little run from your hit, right? He said, dude sought you out at first. You need him, so you out at home now just like a double play? That was disgusting. That was disgusting. By anybody's standards. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if Lupe wrote that, Jay, I don't care who you talking to. If any of them wrote that, it would be the same response. Yeah, that wasn't just for Drake. That was by any rapper standards. Fire. I love how he said people sought him out at first. So, it was a big deal. You were dissing the biggest rapper in the world, right? One of the biggest artists in the world, actually. You were dissing Drake. So, of course, you're going to have the public consensus, the public come in and jump on a trend. So they sought you out at first. And I think he's talking about Kendrick's monthly listeners. I think that's a thing, right? Kendrick's monthly listeners were high. And then after the Super Bowl and all that shit crashed. Now, it's normal for you to lose monthly listeners, but I think it was a drastic drop for Kendrick versus most people, I think is what they were saying. I could be wrong on that. But they sought you out at first, and then they realized, listen to your catalog. Maybe you drove a whole bunch of traffic to your catalog. They listened to it, and they was like, yeah, nah. So they sought you out at first, and now you back at home, right? So now you chilling at home, and your relevance is sort of declining once again. But they sought you out at first. You need him, so you out at home, just like a double play. They sought you out at first. They tried to listen to your music. They couldn't do it. I think you realized, Drake is saying to Kendrick, that you need me to be popping. You needed that to be scorching like you were. It needed to be on the back of dissing me. So they sought you out at first. You need them, and now you realize. And now that you don't have me as this crutch, now you're back at home and again declining into irrelevance, right? Just like a double play. In a double play in baseball, you get a hit or whatever, and I think when you get two people out, it's a double play, right? You know what I'm saying? So that was dope. But you out at home as well, right? When you try to slide home, they catch you like a double play. One of the people, the outfielders, throws it home. You get caught with the ball. You're out at home. But Kendrick out at home, sitting at home, like a double play. You know what I'm saying? So that was super, super clever. Just excellent writing from Drake.
To finally get a hit that let you run a base. Niggas saw you out at first, you need them, so you out at home now, just like a double play. As for these other suckers that's tucked away, I'm down to put bills on their face. No wonder why they been ducking Drake. Bills on their face, no wonder why they been ducking Drake. Let's not even take it to...
Let's talk about that line. So that line has been all over the internet, bills on his face. He said, as for these other suckers that's been tucked away, that's been hiding, these people that betrayed me throughout the 2 years here, after the post-battle, the people who were acting weird and choosing sides post-battle, I'm down to put bills on their face. What he means is I'm down to put a contract on these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? I'm down to put money. I'm down to pay somebody, put a contract, put bread, money on someone's head, bills as in money, on their face, maybe billions as well. You know what I mean? I'm ready to put billions of dollars. Not really. He's not putting billions, but just money on someone's face, on someone's head. Now, wonder they've been ducking Drake. Now, wonder they've been avoiding me. You know what I'm saying? Because they know we got issues. You know what I'm saying? And if I see him outside, it could be a problem, right? So, but also, Drake is a male duck. Bills on their face, duck bill, right? A bill is on a duck's face. And while they've been ducking Drake, while they've been hiding from Drake, bills on their face. That's why he repeated the line, because there's a little layer there. Bills on their face. Duck has a bill. Duck and Drake, a duck bill. A male duck is a Drake, right? Drake is a male duck, right? Contract on their head, money on their head, bills on their face. So that was slick. That was slick. I think that people went and tried to make it more than what it was. Just so y'all know, real quick, man, public service announcement. Triple entendres are extremely rare. Quadruple entendres almost never exist unless fans are trying to make connections that aren't there. Just so y'all know, that's not a thing. That's really not a thing, guys. I've never really seen a quadruple entendre that just didn't involve some outrageous reach. And even triple entendres are extremely rare without reaches. I think more often than not, the artist is usually about 98% of the time, they're usually doing a double, and then everybody else is adding shit in there to try to make it a triple. Because I say that to say, yeah, I saw people adding to that bar, and I'm like, it's not a sextuple on time. It's not that. Y'all making it corny now. Stop trying too hard to be the guy to discover the amazing. Y'all trying too hard. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it cool.
As for these other suckers that's tucked away, I'm down to put bills on their face. No wonder why they been ducking Drake. Bills on their face. No wonder why they been ducking Drake. Let's not even take it to that other place. You boys too pussy like double dates. Running out to 6 like you want to race. I watch this guy spasm with a puzzled face. Who knows which one of his bubble-shaped tings I must have ushered through the double gates. Showed her the time of her life while broski having stomach aches. Hearing about good times at Lover's Lake. And send it back to you while you sleepwalking naked in another state.
Yeah, he killed Joe with that, though. He killed him. You know, it's funny that, Joe Button, he's talking about Joe Button here, which is hilarious. This was hilarious. He just barred him up. But, Joe Button dissed Drake. When Joe Button was outside, he had dissed Drake, and Drake completely ignored him. I think he dissed Drake 4 times, and then Drake just ignored him. And I think now, with all of their history, if Drake were to ever entertain a battle with Joe Budden, I think Drake knew, because Joe is nice. You know what I'm saying? It was a high risk, low reward situation for Drake. It was a high risk because Joe was a really, really dope lyricist, and those disses, most of them were dope. I think Drake knew, like, yeah, I ain't even gonna try to engage this motherfucker. Like, not to say that Drake don't think he can get him, but it's just like he's too good and to just be taken lightly. And if I lose that battle to a dude, there's no benefiting. It's really not any benefiting from Drake, period, to battle motherfuckers. He usually doesn't benefit that much, in my opinion. But he benefited from me. But you know what I'm saying. Like, Drake if you're the guy, it's hard to really see much of an increase when you battle someone. But I just think it's a low risk, high reward situation. But now, Drake has so much on Joe, man. There's so many things that's transpired with Joe since then till now. Drake would have it would be a smorgasbord of bars for Joe, man. It would be really hard, I think, for Joe. You know, and Joe has some shit on Drake too, but I think Drake is rapping way better than he used to. And it would be an interesting battle. He said, you boys too pussy like double dates, right? So if you go on a double date, there's two women involved, right? So there's two pussy like double dates. Running out to 6 like you won a race. I watched this guy spasm, you know, with a puzzled face. So running out to 6 like you won a race. I think he's talking about Kendrick when he was performed in Toronto. He had like an escort him out of Toronto. So he didn't even sleep that night in Toronto after he was done with his performance. So I think that's his way of saying run out at 6. Like, obviously when you're running a race, you're running out somewhere, but the 6 is Toronto. So, yeah. Who knows which one of these bubble-shaped things I must have ushered through the double gates. Bubble-shaped things ushered through the double gates. I think he's talking about Joe Budden here, dealing with one of Joe Budden's exes, Tahiri. Bubble-shaped, meaning she's got a big butt. You know, and yes, I think that happened. I think that there were pictures of Drake and Tahiri in Lover's Lake. I think it's in the DR, if I'm not mistaken. So he was essentially saying that he messed with Joe Budden's exes, but who knows? It could have been one of many. You know what I mean? I think Joe mentioned that Drake has probably messed around with a few of his ex-girls or whatever, or current. I don't know what happened. The double gates, meaning his mansion, right? Sent her back to you, man, and she had the time of her life. I sent her back to you while you was at home having stomach aches, walking naked in hallways. Joe was caught on camera walking. I think he was sleepwalking butt naked on someone's Ring camera. Someone caught him, which was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's a reference to Joe. Yeah, he went at Joe there. Let's keep it going.
Running out to 6 like you want a race. I watch this guy spasm with a puzzled face. Who knows which one of his bubble-shaped things I must have ushered through the double gates. Showed her the time of her life while broski having stomach aches. Hearing about good times at Lover's Lake. And send her back to you while you sleepwalking naked in another state. You'll live to see another day. And even if you don't, it's just another day. We ain't crying for your punk ass anyway. I'm a 6-side renegade. For anybody adding more lemons to the lemonade, souring the vibes that I generate. I'm 16 years in the game, this ain't Minute Maid. Scrimmaging with scrubs for the love of the game, cause I'm unamused and all the goats are middle age. And Muggsy Bogues done for once, even I'm a bit amazed. Yeah, someone get a kid a raise. What is it, the braids? Even when I cut them, I could never fade. I mean, it's Drizzy Drake, like.
Unbelievable. I gotta clap it up, man. Dude, Drake, yo, this was an amazing rap performance, man, from Drake. I think anybody, I want to hear from, I think Lupe, ask him, Ransom, ask all the best MCs, man. No one's denying this. No great rapper. If you don't think Drake is an excellent A-tier lyricist after this, man, I just don't think you have to be coming from some place of hate. By every objective measurement, this was this was just such a high-level display, man. I mean, what do you want? Entendres, you want idioms, you want, layered references with, like, you know what I mean? You want schemes in there, and what have you, man. Metaphorical schemes. Excellent stuff from Drake, man. Let me finish up the breakdown here. After he was talking crazy about messing with one of Joe's girls, right? He said, you'll live to see another day. You'll get over it. You'll live to see another day, man. You know what I'm saying? That's something you say when someone has a horrible day. They get their ass beat or some shit. You'll be like, you'll live to fight another day, right? You'll live to see another day. And then he said, and even if you don't, it's just another day. You know what I'm saying? It's super witty, right? You'll live to see another day. That's his way of saying you'll get over it. And even if you don't, I really don't give a fuck. But also he's playing on, if Joe did not live to see another day, it'd just be another day to Drake. I don't give a fuck if he dies. Even if you didn't literally live to see another day, it's just another day for me. I don't give a fuck. So we ain't crying for your punk ass anyway. I'm a 6-side renegade for anybody that's adding more lemons to the lemonade, souring the vibes that I generate. Nasty. I'm a renegade. I'm ready to go to war for anybody that's adding sour vibes. That's essentially just being sour towards Drake and what he's doing in his movement or whatever, his music, right? Add more lemons to the lemonade. Sour haters, right? I'm a 6ix9ine renegade for that, souring the vibes that I generate, right? And I'm 16 years in the game, man. This ain't Minute Maid. That was slick. So he's coming off the Lemonade play. I'm 16 years in the game. This ain't Minute Maid. Minute Maid lemonade, but I'm 16 years in the game. I've been doing this for 16 years. This didn't happen overnight. You know what I mean? Y'all souring the vibes or whatever. I done been through wars, man. This ain't new to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a renegade for that. He says, scrimmaging with scrubs for the love of the game because I'm unamused and all the goats are middle-aged. Scrimmaging with scrubs for the love of the game because I'm unamused and all the goats, they middle-aged. That was so nasty to me, man. So scrimmaging with scrubs. I'm out here scrimmage like it's just like not a real game, right? A scrimmage is not, it's like a sort of intramural, right? It's like a practice, basically. I'm practicing. I'm just playing around with these dudes with scrubs. So I think that's his way of shooting at Kendrick. Like, I'm playing with these dudes that's not on my level like Kendrick, right? These scrubs, man. And all the GOATs, all the people that can give me real competition are retired. Jay, retired, you know what I'm saying? Or middle-aged, excuse me. Like, middle-aged meaning they on the cusp of retirement, man. They ain't got time to be out here dissing. They're in a different phase of their life. They ain't got time to be getting out here getting their hands dirty, So Nas and Jay, they're basically borderline retired at this point. And who else? Eminem is middle-aged, right? Eminem will get in the ring, though. Eminem will go. Eminem would be 80 and he'll get in the ring, though. So, but the bottom line is Eminem is he's in a different phase of his career, right? I'm just doing this for the love of the game, man. Because I'm bored. I'm unamused, man. I need something to do. I've been dominating for 16 years. I might as well get in a battle and, I got to shake shit up. I got to keep myself from falling asleep in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? It's being number one this long. So that was dope. And Muggsy Bogues dunked for once. Even I'm a bit amazed. Hey, somebody get a kid a raise. What is it? The braids, even if you cut them, even if I cut them, they can never fade. Kendrick said, what is it? The braids in the Euphoria diss, right? He said, what is it? The braids? Boy, even if I cut the braids, I can never fade. So that's a play on getting, a fade is a specific type of haircut when you get your hair faded, right? So even if I cut my hair and faded it out, right, I can never fade, right? Even if I cut them. So that was slick. Little rebuttal. He's rebuttaling everything concerning the battle and Kendrick throughout this entire thing, of course, as well. But the Muggsy Bogues line, Muggsy Bogues is like a 5'3" basketball player. Literally, he's like 5'3". And it was like, I think he's the shortest basketball player in the history of the NBA. So, even Muggsy Bogues dunk for once. That's Drake's way of saying. Even the sun shines on dog shit even sometimes as well, right? A broken clock is right at least 2 times a day. Everybody has a quick moment, right? Even I'm surprised. That's Drake's way of saying. Even I'm surprised by all of the success that happened with Not Like Us and Kendrick having a tour and doing a Super Bowl. Like, wow, congratulations. Somebody get a kid a raise. Give him a raise. It's not gonna happen again. That's a one and done situation. But I'm happy for the kid. Give him a raise. As when someone says, give him a raise. Oh, you did good. Give him a gold star, right? Give him some money, a raise, a promotion, or what have you, right? But also, I don't know if Muggsy Bogues, again, I don't know if it's a short joke. Muggsy Bogues dunks once in a while. Maybe raise him up to dunk, maybe as well. Give him a raise, help him out next time, raise him up. Who knows? But amazing song, amazing rapping. As a song, the beat gets a little whatever to me. It becomes it meanders along a little bit too much for me. I think Drake really wasted excellent rapping on what I feel like is kind of a boring beat. It's cool at first, but I'm not big on beat changes. But this beat was putting me to sleep. Had it not, this beat would have put me to sleep had Drake not went crazy lyrically. So I think this could have had, if this would have been like a crazy or slick ass beat, this could have been an all-timer song-wise from Drake. It's an all-timer lyrically for Drake. As a song, it's probably not one I'm going to be revisiting much. It's not a skip because it's a well-crafted bar fest. So I can't say it's a skip in that the quality isn't there. But it's not going to be a song that I'm going to revisit simply because the beat just kind of bores me after a while. And once you've heard the bars and all that other stuff, it'll be cool to revisit once in a blue moon just to kind of go back over Drake's bar work. But yeah, it's not something I want to listen to again. But dude, he went crazy. One of Drake's best performances. I think it's gonna go up in. This one might go in the rafters, man. It might be the best he's ever rapped. I gotta really. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna stamp it yet. It might be though. So shout out to everybody that requested that one. I might do National Treasures today. I'm going to see if I don't do it today. I'll do it tomorrow. Plot twist. Me and Ryan did plot twist. I might do it for my channel just to do it. If we don't put the plot twist video out on our Lost in Vegas channel, so I'll probably just do it here. You know what? I want to turn the video back on real quick, man, because I want to put this article in the description. I want y'all to read this, man. I want y'all to read this. This is the person that made the article, Martin Vidal. The article's called "The Drake Kendrick Rap Beef: A Case Study of Mob Psychology." I read it and I thought it was dead on to how I felt throughout the battle. And you know, it's just yeah, man, he just takes you through what mob psychology is, the nuance of it. Why am I saying this, man? Because I just want us to get better. I want us to be better. I know that this is just my part, man. I got a small little platform over here at Rhyme Rate, but I want people to be better, man. I don't want 2024 to repeat itself again, right? We don't want history to repeat itself. I thought it was nasty. I thought it was disgusting the way people jumped on perpetuating PDF narratives without any proof, which is what mob psychology is. It avoids nuance, and it does bad in the name of good. All these things that Martin talks about in the article is covered. Hopefully he's cool with this, because I think he got some bullshit. He says it in the article. During the beef, he put this out, and he got a lot of flack, and people were trying to go to Amazon and rate his books poorly and all this other shit simply because he wrote this article, which again is another form of mob psychology, right? He's coming together and saying somebody's this and that without, due diligence and nuance and all this other stuff. So I just think it's important for people to read stuff like this and be able to look for the signs of it. So if it happens again, man, cut that shit off at the root, man. You know what I mean? Get involved and be like, no, you were participating in mob psychology. Stop. So I'm going to put that in the description. But yeah, that's it, man. This is George Rhyme Rate. I'm out.